Well, hello there. Welcome to my energy reading for this week, beginning the 15th of March. It's Monday morning here in Sydney, Australia. It might still be the 14th where you are when you're listening to this. So this is going to be a slightly longer card reading today because there's so many exciting things going on that I want to share with you. And I've got a few notes to make sure that I don't leave out anything really exciting. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Karen Turpin. I'm a spiritual coach. You can find my website at karenturpin.com. So without further ado, these are interesting cards, and I know I say that every week, but I would like to explain a little bit about these cards because if you've been watching me in recent weeks, you will know that there was a period of time where we kept getting the same cards coming up week after week, and it had a really kind of heavy and stuck kind of energy to it. And then last week, everything shifted. And that felt really good because it felt like we were really moving into a new kind of phase. Now, very interesting because this week we've got a couple of those same cards back again from a few weeks ago. And I want to explain to you why I'm not at all bothered about that. And it's not feeling heavy at all like it was back then. So, how I see the cards, how I read them, is that we can have the same card coming up repeatedly, like we did for a while. And what it shows us, it's a little bit to do with the positioning of the cards as well. So, I always pick three for these types of readings. And the first card is kind of energy coming in, and then we move through the center card and we're kind of there. And then it may move it in position and be in the third position, the third card. And it kind of shows a progression through that card, through what it is, its symbolic meaning, or in terms of what it's showing us, drawing to our attention in our day-to-day life, or also maybe by the time it reaches the third stage, third position, it may be showing us that we've kind of integrated or embodied that lesson or suggestion. So that's often how the cards move through. Now, there's multiple layers to this, of course, because when you look at the three cards and see how they come together, it will give you a different picture depending on where the cards are. So in this card spread, we have the moon in the first position, and we have the seven of crystals, which the keyword is dullness, in the third position. Now, we had those cards repeatedly a few weeks ago. However, what I feel from the overall energy of these cards, and I'm bearing in mind the planetary energies which I sense. Obviously, I don't read that from the cards, but I'm just feeling and sensing the overall planetary energy, and I feel it shifted. So even though we have the same cards, I'm not at all worried, and I hope that I'll explain that a little bit more to you as we go through. So the moon again. Cycles, intuition, inner knowing. It encourages to break old cycles and ways of being, shift stagnant energy. And we know that the moon itself often brings up old stuff to be cleared out and just released. I'll come back to that in a moment. The second card that we have is a different card, and this I feel is what shifts the overall energy of it. So we've got the Man of the Worlds. The key word is achievement, and this is all about goal setting. It's telling us that anything we want, we can have if we put our mind to it, if we set a goal, and if we work towards it. And then we've got the Seven of Crystals, which is dullness. Dullness of mind, lacking curiosity. It's a mind that's stuck and set in its ways. Now, currently, it is here in Australia the 15th of March. As I said, it's probably may still be the 14th where you are. But on the 13th of March, we had a new moon on the planet. And the new moon energy is always a perfect time to start something new. Um, Just this last week, I've opened up my light worker coaching program for a new intake of people coming through. Perfect timing for them with this new moon, because we're setting our intentions, we're clearing old energy, and we're moving into a new phase of their life. So anything that you set up as new around the time of the new moon, you kind of get that growth energy with it, and things flow much more easily, I found. So it's interesting, I think, that at this time of the year, we've sorry, let me rephrase that and say this year we had that big conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter back at the kind of 21st, 22nd of December, and we've had that new kind of energy coming through. We know that we're moving into the age of Aquarius. We're having a whole timeline shift on the planet. We're moving into a new age, the age of light, the age of the light worker. And it's got a lot of Aquarius energy to it. Now, Aquarius energy is all about higher mind. The energy really supports us to shift our energy into a whole new level, a whole new way of being, so that we can become that better version of ourselves as an ascending human. So at this time, we're kind of being supported on a planetary level. It's universal, really. But we're being supported to become more intuitive, more psychic, more aware, more expanded in our perception, and moving into expanded consciousness. And this energy naturally ebbs and flows a little bit through time, because there's always cycles. Just like we have the cycles of the moon, we have these cycles or these impulses of energy as it moves through. So basically to say that we are being majorly supported right now to switch on our psychic gifts, our intuition, our awareness, our expanded states of consciousness. So the Jupiter and Saturn energy that I mentioned coming through in that alignment conjunction in December is still with us, and it will be with us for a long while. So it's moving us into this new phase, this new age, if you like, and it plays a really important part in this card, the Man of the Worlds card. So the energy or the effect of the Saturn energy brings the discipline to work towards our goal. And then the Jupiter energy brings the expansiveness or the expansion of consciousness required to achieve our goals in this new timeline, because we can't do things in this new timeline in the way that we did things in the old timeline. So I've been talking within my membership group and to various clients that I've had session with, because it's been coming up a lot as a theme, that we're being kind of invited to create foundations, rebuild the foundations all over again at a new level. So we may have thought that we've created something, but in this new timeline, it's almost like we have to recreate it at a higher vibrating level, or a higher level of consciousness, so to speak. So the Seven of Crystals, this card, is reminding us to open our mind, not get stuck in the old ways, and move into the new ways that we need to think and feel and create in this new timeline. So the energy is currently really pushing us to go inwards and find our truth and find that alignment for us personally. There's always an opposing force of disinformation. Just as much there's information, there's disinformation, or there's truth and there's untruth, because that's the natural way that things are. You know, there's an opposing force. But that's why it's so, so important right now to develop your intuition, to learn to go into your heart and to trust yourself, so that you find your personal truth, what's right for you to do. And it doesn't really matter what other people do and choose, because this is all about your personal alignment with what is right for you, so that you're building things in the way that's right for you. even if everyone else says that's the wrong way to do it, how do they know what is right for you? And so I've learned that the more I attune to my own inner wisdom and my inner knowing, that it always guides me in the right direction. And of course, sometimes we need outside help, but still, you always have to run that through your inner truth filters so that everything that you're doing is completely in alignment with your truth, what you're here to do, and what you're here to bring to the world as well. So that dullness card, the Seven of Crystals, is encouraging us again to open our mind, to become a critical thinker, and to think for ourselves rather than just allowing ourselves to go along with what everybody else thinks we should be doing. And remember that on this planet, we are supposed to have free will and choice. That's a kind of a premise that we've been repeatedly told, particularly in spiritual circles, when they say, well, you know, you have free will and choice. So a lot of people are handing that over right now, not realizing that they've forgotten to think logically or rationally, and they're certainly not thinking from higher mind. And so this is the energy that's coming through on the planet right now. It's pushing us to think from an expanded consciousness, pushing us into our higher mind. And that can be intensely uncomfortable for people that are not moving into, you know, not shifting into that higher mind. And then we see the divide more and more between the people that are thinking from higher mind and those that are, well, in their lower mind or in their ego mind. And really, then we could say perhaps that those people are choosing not to shift into this new timeline with some of us, the rest of us. So this new moon in Pisces is a beautiful energy this week. It's very connected to dreams, our dream state. The moon very much affects our dreams. At full moon, we have a lot of heavy emotion coming up. And very often at a new moon, like we are now, we have lots of inspirational dreams and still stuff to clear because, of course, in the card spread, we're being reminded to not be stuck in old ways of being with those limited thoughts. So the new moon energy will be coming through maybe with ideas and inspiration, but then we will have to adjust in our mind to be of a higher mind, to accept the dream, or certainly to put it into action, like the middle card, the achiever card. So we'll get the inspiration, but then we have to run it through the higher mind, receive it, and then choose to act in that way rather than rather than go back into those old patterns, those old ways of being, which is probably why you have got stuck or are maybe not achieving to the level that you know you can. And so because we're so close to the equinox as well, 21st March, I feel that these cards are setting up beautifully a theme for this year as we move through, because in fact, I'm not fully into astrology, but a lot of people say that it's only right now that we're actually shifting into 2021, even though we've had 3 months, you know, on our Gregorian calendar, but astrologically, we're just moving into it now. So these cards would set up beautifully the energy theme for the year, which is getting unstuck, breaking old patterns, clearing stagnant energy, setting a goal, believing that anything is possible when you take the action steps, and then also remembering to be in expanded consciousness and seeing things from higher mind, from a new perspective. So the synchronicity of this I find fascinating, particularly as I mentioned earlier when I refer it to my light worker coaching program, because this is exactly what I take my people through, that breaking down of stagnant, stuck energy, the creation of our bigger vision, what we want to move towards, connecting inwards, you know, intuitively, psychically, to uncover our gifts and talents, and then you know, setting the goals so that we know where we are headed. We can move towards that, and then opening and expanding our mind to see it from higher perspective. Now, if you put those 3 steps into your life with any goals or projects that you have, you can begin to uncover what holds you back, where you're stuck. You can set those goals and then begin to take apart the limiting beliefs that you're holding that are stopping you from achieving that. Personally, I believe pretty much anything we set our mind to, we can actually achieve. It's unlikely that I'm going to become an astronaut and, you know, fly to the moon. But for the most part, anything that we dream, that we really feel as passion in our body, in our heart, that we want to create that, most things that we can dream, that we can vision like that, is actually achievable. And so this new moon energy is really moving us towards that. And that's, you know, quite beautiful at this time. So there's the steps that you need to take. Recognize the block stagnant energy, set the goal, expand your mind so that you can move beyond it, move into higher mind, and get that kind of momentum of the energy of this new moon, this new age of Aquarius, the opening of our intuition and our psychic abilities. All of that is beautiful energy that can really move you into absolutely achieving anything that you want to achieve. So if you need a bit of help and support with that, then please send me a message. I would love to talk with you and see how I can help you. I also have an intuition development class about to start. So if you know that this is your time to develop your intuition and you would like some support and guidance, do that. You'd be very welcome to join my class. So again, send me a DM and let's connect so that I can help you. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the movement of this energy through the cards today, and I hope that you can apply that into your life as well and see how you could really move through this quite rapidly with the right kind of support. Now, I only have 3 spaces left in my coaching program. It's a private and personal coaching program. I work with you one-on-one, and we really hone down on, you know, where you're tripping yourself up so that we can shift all of that out and really get you moving forward. I'm sure you'll agree that this would be the perfect time to do that, because we've got all of the energy of the universe really to move us through. We've got the new moon, which is always great for growth and you know, achieving our goals. And we've got this timeline shift into the age of Aquarius right now with this equinox energy. So really, what better time to be absolutely stepping out and achieving the goals, following your passion and your purpose. Anyway, I hope that these cards have inspired you to move on and get going with your purpose, your mission, what you've come here to achieve. And I'd love to hear from you. So keep me posted if this has inspired you to step forward. KarenTurpin.com is my website. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, all those places. Karen Turpin, Spiritual Coach. Have a great week. And I'm really excited to see where the cards will take us next week. See you then. Bye for now.